Alright, this is my first weekly trade recap video of trading the ES futures. I want to make this a weekly thing that I do so I can look back when I'm a millionaire and I'm like, oh shit, I've been recording since forever my trade recaps. So let's get to it. First week of doing this. First trades on June 30th. This is the week of June 30th to July 4th. First, I saw that the 6 a.m. 4-hour candle tapped into this 4-hour wick S&D. So I was going to look for an entry after. Basically, I trade once the 4-hour candle, not the 4-hour candle, the 15-minute 9:30 candle opens. So I trade the market open manipulation. So I was going to wait for a retap into this 4-hour wick S&D, which is this right here, but we didn't get it. But I noticed that the 9 o'clock candle tapped into this unconfirmed S&D here. So right at 9:15. So that's what I was going to look for a retap of instead of the 4-hour wick S&D. So we got that on the open of the 9:30. And so I was going to I entered on the close of the rejection, which is right here. As we tapped into this, one tick in, and then we closed down here, and then I entered right on this. You can see kinda, it's a little small, but that's my markup right there. Entered right there, stop at 4 pips above, and what happened is price hit this 4-hour fair value gap. So I went break even as per my rules. I went break even right here, got stopped at break even. When did that happen? So I entered here, hit the 4-hour fair value gap right here, and then got stopped at break even basically immediately. But as this 15-minute candle closed above the 4-hour fair value gap, I entered. That's how I trade. I trade off the rejections and closure above or below these S&Ds or any POI or liquidity point. So I entered right there, and then I put my stop in the low of that candle that got me entered, and then I got stopped out, and then I got this re-entry right here, and then basically right here, this 10 o'clock candle opened up, and then we hit this unconfirmed S&D, which you can tell is just this candle low right here. Hit this, and then I went break even, and then we got stopped out break even, and then I entered again on the closure above, and I got stopped at break even again. And so basically got 3 stops at break evens, 3 stops at break even trades, and 1 loss. So this day ended up in -1. I'll say that right here, -1 on that day. And so basically that was it for that day. Took 1 loss, 3 break evens, and that was just a shitty day. Look at this chop. I don't know what you could have traded here. Next day we had ISM Manufacturing PMI on Tuesday, so I didn't trade that. And then the next day, I believe this is the day I traded. I think so. Yes, it is. Okay. So what I saw is 6 a.m. candle opened up and swept this liquidity point. You can tell it's very small just by 0.25, one tick liquidity point, and we swept that. So I was going to look for a 15-minute candle closure above after 9:30. But first, my entry, I saw we hit this unconfirmed S&D right here. I liked this S&D because it made a higher wick above, so that's a prominent S&D as per my rules. So we tapped into that at 9:30, and I basically we already tapped into it earlier, I guess, but we got a retap into it I'll show you right here on the 5-minute at 9:30. Right here on the open, took this trade with the 4-point stop, 4-pip stop actually, and then we got stopped out right here. Mark that out, and then what happened is I saw that the 15-minute candle closed above right here. Not really above, but with my rule, if we close right at the liquidity point or at the open, or you know what I mean, like the top of the liquidity point. Never mind, that's actually wrong. We did close above, but even if we didn't, if we closed right at the liquidity point, I still would have entered. But basically, we closed right here above the liquidity point. Remember right here, this low right here, that's a swing low, so that's a liquidity point per my rules. So we closed right above it, and then I entered right at the open of this new candle. This is my entry after the price dipped a little, and then even with spread I still got a perfect entry. And then I put my stop at the low here, plus 1 tick to be ready for spread. And then I basically had to close early at around here as per the consistency rules with my evaluation. So I closed at about 4.75 around here, because it would be 3.75 RR for my consistency rule if I didn't take a loss, but I did take a loss earlier before this trade, so I had to wait a little longer, which is fine because this was a banger trade. So I closed early here, around here, 4.75 around here, and then I would have held till the next where is this? I would have held to the next 4-hour POI or confirmed POI or liquidity point, which would be this liquidity point right here for 10.1 RR. But I don't hold trades longer, or I don't hold trades past 2 p.m. because that's the close of that's the close of the first 4-hour candle of New York session. So I closed it right at, well, I would have closed right at the end of this candle, which would be, I'll show you here, that would be for 8.4 RR. So unfortunately I had to miss out on about 3 point something RR risk to reward because of the consistency rule. But if I wasn't in evaluation, unfortunately I am still right now. If I wasn't, I would have held to 8.4 RR, and let's see, I think that would have been like $3,400. I was gonna do the create limit and then do the whole calculation to see how much profit it would have been, but I'm in replay right now, so yeah, it won't let me do that. But yeah, let me log in so I can show you that I actually did enter on these trades. I don't know if it'll show on the Monday trades. It doesn't even show here. I guess it's too old. Maybe it's because I entered on Tradeovate, not on TradingView. But yeah, that's what happened this week. So that was plus 3.75 RR, or actually, good spelling, plus what would have been 8.4 minus 1, 7.4 RR. So that's what I would have made on this day. And then minus 1, that would be 6.4 RR on the week. So pretty decent week. 5 RR is all you need per week. That's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I only traded 2 days this week because Tuesday, ISM Manufacturing, PMI, and then Thursday, over here, was half day, so I didn't trade. I hope you didn't either. And Friday, also a half day because of July 4th. Hopefully you didn't trade, because what the fuck would you have done here? Are you kidding? No way you would have traded here. Actually, something interesting. I would have been profitable on this day, because only thing that would have happened during this day, this 6 a.m. candle didn't tap into this S&D or here. That's what I would have looked for first, but it didn't tap in. It hit it exactly, but it didn't tap in. So first, what would have happened on Friday? Price would have hit this 4-hour POI, this line right here. Price would have hit that, and then since it's a 4-hour POI, I would wait for the 15-minute candle to close below, which happened right here, and then I would put my stop at the high, plus 1 tick, and I would have closed at basically the end of the session, because that's a half day, so it doesn't go till 2 p.m. for the 4-hour candle. So what would that have been? Let's see. With a $400 risk, $1,000. Yeah, pretty decent. 2.7R. But oh well. I don't trade half days, I don't trade bank holidays, and you shouldn't either. They're overall usually improbable. And yeah. So hopefully you guys did good this week. I did pretty good, and I'm looking forward to next week, because we have like no news, a little bit of news, which is good, but no Fed Chair Powell speaking, no fucking holidays or anything. It's gonna be a free week next week. Hopefully we do good.